Do you want to learn how to stand out online as social media gets more crowded? Are you looking for the best marketing and money-making strategies for growing your online business and brand faster with YouTube and online video? If we're just meeting, my name is Sean Cannell, and I'm a small-town kid, college dropout, and I started making videos in my bedroom 10 years ago. All right, so this is, I guess, the first Sean Thinks vlog. Now, this is definitely as real as it gets, so I'm not going to try to be energetic or entertaining. Fast forward to today, and I've built a multi-million-dollar media company, and that's what inspired this channel, a place where the Think Media team and I reveal the marketing and online business growth strategies that we've used to scale over the past decade. Our mission is to help purpose-driven people learn how to build their influence with YouTube, social media, and online video. On this channel, we're going to be covering topics like email marketing, paid advertising, how to create and sell digital courses, and advanced strategies for growing your business faster with social media. So make sure to subscribe. Every week we will post new videos, including our weekly video podcast, The Think Marketing Show, hosted by Heather Torres. Exclusive sessions from our annual conference, Grow with Video Live in Las Vegas. Step-by-step trainings on marketing campaigns, funnels, and the best marketing tools and software, and so much more. This channel will help you shorten your learning curve and simplify the complex world of online marketing so you can build a business you love. Our core values are faith, family, and legacy, and we believe that there has never been a better time to build a high impact and high profit business that not only changes people's lives, but makes a difference in the world. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Talk soon.
Act knows you might run into questions while filing your small business taxes. So we have experts on hand whose job it is to know everything about taxes. They do that job so the rest of us don't have to. Heroes. Tax Act. Let's get them over with.
Introducing 2 new Baja Chipotle subs featuring our world-famous Baja Chipotle sauce. Listen, that's the Baja Chipotle talking. Well, it's actually...
YouTube is the new CNN. YouTube is the new NBC. And for you to get a show on CNN, you're gonna need some bucks, man. But what YouTube is what? Free. That's right.
Welcome to the Think Marketing Podcast, the #1 podcast for growing and scaling your business with online video. I'm Heather Torres.
And I'm Sean Cannell, and we're from Think Media. And if this is your first time listening, welcome.
This show is dedicated to helping you learn how to get your content noticed and the latest money-making strategies working right now online. So whether you want to grow your YouTube channel or you want to maximize video across all of social media, this podcast is for you. And I am fired up for this episode specifically because it comes from one of the sessions at our previous Grow with Video Live conferences. This is an annual conference that we host for online entrepreneurs and business owners who want to start to understand marketing, who want to understand video marketing. And I know those terms kind of get thrown around a lot, but here's what it means. If you're ready to grow with video, then this is the conference for you. I'll tell you more about it after this episode, but if you're interested, you can go to growwithvideolive.com to claim your tickets. This actual part of Grow with Video Live, I felt needed to come to you. You need to hear this. Go ahead and lean into this episode as Sean shares these things with you right now.
So here's one of the big reasons most people fail with online video. It's like the #1 reason. Random acts of content. Now look, I'm all for random acts of kindness, of course, right? We should be random and just see somebody do something nice. But if you're random with your content, with your messaging, you're never going to get momentum online. So what's the remedy to that? What's the remedy? Well, I really believe a way to kind of put handles, and one of our goals for you is to leave this event with a game plan. Leave this event with a game plan to dominate in 2020. And so we really believe that one of the best ways to do that is to create a signature show. Look at your neighbor and say, start your show. Tell them that. Look at the person on the other side and say, you really need to start your show. Say it like that. Yeah. So here's why. The reason, what is a signature show? Like, what's a signature show? Well, this is something that comes out at a consistent time, right? Consistent time, a consistent place, in a consistent format that has a consistent value proposition. Your show is not like, this is the personal finance show. This week we're going to teach you about budgeting, and then next week you're like, this week we're going to be reviewing wine. You know, and they're like, oh, well, that's not consistent. So it's consistent time, a consistent place, consistent format, consistent value proposition, and then consistent branding. And that just simply means maybe you create a little tagline intro. You create something that lets you know that it's all consistent. Why does this help? Because now we're avoiding random acts of content and we're building momentum with this signature show. You know, many of today's top entrepreneurs that are crushing it with online video have started a show. This is Marie Forleo, something like over 500,000 subs, 46 million views on her channels. She's probably done over $100 million in course sales. And the way she's built her business was by starting a show called Marie TV. She started it about 7 years ago. And if you ever watch an episode, it's super intimidating. I mean, it's like, it's crispy, it's beautiful. She's got a set, she's got a team. And you go, I could never do that. But if you go to her YouTube channel and you go all the way back to her oldest video, you will find Marie sitting on a couch in a tank top with a laptop just answering questions. She's like, yo, welcome to the first episode of Q&A Tuesday with Marie. And she just started a show, right? And now it's an award-winning show, not that lives on NBC or ABC or CBS. No, it lives on YouTube. And I would dare say that what's amazing is that YouTube is the new CNN. YouTube is the new NBC. And for you to get a show on CNN, you're gonna need some bucks, man. But what YouTube is what? Free. That's right. And so she started a show. And the cool thing is, again, yeah, I mentioned this, you don't have to have a six-figure budget or a big production team to do this. There's her first episode. Hey guys, I'm on my couch. You know, let's start the show. And so you got to just start simple. This is Brennan Burchard, a powerful influencer in kind of personal development and like productivity. And his show is called The Brendan Show. He posts one video a week on YouTube. And here's the cool thing. Even someone like him who's got a big team, making over 8 figures a year, doing all kinds of stuff, Brendan's not even consistent all the time, man. Sometimes I'm like, dude, where's your videos, bro? He's like gone for 2 months, 3 months. And so you're judging yourself for not being consistent. But over the last, say, 8 years, he's been consistent on a macro of just putting out at least one show a week. This is Phil DeFranco, and he actually does news content on YouTube. And so it's amazing. You could be in all different types of niches, and you go all the way back to his first episodes, and there's like a black and white webcam. You know, there's old young Phil, some weird graphical intro thing with like the weird reversed whatever. And so it just started ugly, weird, brutal, how we all start. But yet today, he's one of the most watched, most subscribed news YouTubers. And dare I say, he gets more traffic than giant news organizations. As a one-man show, he just started being consistent. You can read this on the headline. It says the Philip DeFranco Show, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then he's got a community show on Friday. And he started his show and stuck with it. Started ugly, but kept his show going. Not only that, today he's got a men's beard care line, merchandise. He just started Rogue Rocket, which is a whole nother news organization. But that came later after starting a show. Look at your neighbor and tell him to start a show. Tell him that. Show. Hey, what are the benefits of a signature show? Well, the benefits are clarity. I mean, there's also like personal clarity. Like, I don't know about you, but sometimes you wake up and you might be like, okay, so I'm supposed to make a video, but I don't even know what it's going to be about. Like, I have no clue. When you are starting a show, you've already predefined what everything's going to be. Like maybe you just need a topic, but because you have clarity of like literally what you're doing, and not just personal clarity, but it also let people externally know what you're doing. You're like, yeah, I run a weekly show. It's actually a video podcast. We upload it on YouTube, and there's a podcast episode over here, and it brings clarity. Simplicity. It kind of clarifies just what you're doing in terms of content. Again, you might be over here thinking, okay, I'm supposed to do 60-second video on Instagram, and I'm supposed to be doing stuff on LinkedIn, and you can get really stressed out really quick. But the cool thing about starting a show is you just go, okay, this is it, simple, one show a week. What I want you to do, every one of us, whatever we do, when you leave Grow with Video, I want you to, this is your game plan, one a week, just one a week, one show a week. By the way, your show could be 5 minutes. It could be 20 minutes, but one a week. And because it's simplicity, and you're like, this is what I'm doing. This is the pillar I'm planting. Consistency, because now you have a show, you can be consistent to your audience. By the way, maybe you can't do one a week. There's Cassandra here is doing like a LinkedIn live show. I was just watching the first episode, and she said she's going to do it, I think, once a month. Great. Or twice a month. But just, you can be consistent with it. Branding. This could be simple, your words, or maybe you spend a few bucks and you can go to a site like Fiverr.com or something like Upwork and get one of those branded intros. Heather will tell you, I'm not even sure how she made her intro, but she only made it like once for the homeschool house. So now she can sit in front of her phone, deliver content, but then just play that bumper and use it week after week, so the branding, the look of it, the name of it can just be repeated. You're not trying to reinvent the wheel, reinvent the graphics. You got them done once, you can keep working on them in your show. Number 5, authority. It's amazing because when you start a show, now you're like a show creator. You really are, and you do it for a year, you do it for 2 years, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, I'm the host of the highly popular show, The Sean Show. What do you do? I don't know. I just talk. But I've been doing it for 2 years. We have 104 episodes. That's momentum, right? That can really bring you to momentum. Number 6, when you do a show, momentum builds over time. You're going to be hearing from Sassy Lashes in just a bit, and their company, and they've been doing it for just a short time, having a show, but it's building momentum. And what's crazy is it's not only good now, but it's about to get gooder. Because momentum builds and builds and builds. And then finally, sustainability. Because all of us are asking, you're like, Sean, I still got stuff to do in my business, man. I still got the daily operations. I got other things to do in my life. But sustainability, because once you create systems around this, now you can kind of automate this. I was talking to Keith just before the session. He said, how are you guys still happy? How do you guys do all the things that you're doing? And we said, well, we're doing team stuff, but we're also trying to have smart systems. Create buckets, like a tip a week. Can I have a glass of water? I'm about to die. Excuse me, a tip a week, and a tool a week. So it's just buckets, and we're like, put stuff in the buckets. I don't say this to discourage you, but we are so far ahead in Think Media right now. Literally, we have 6 months of content ahead right now. It only took us 10 years to get there. Thank you so much. But I mean, sustainability, but it's because we started building momentum. We're like, wow. And we just keep we have clarity of what we're doing, so we keep filling those buckets. Here's this PewDiePie. He's the largest independent YouTuber. He just crossed 100 million subscribers, and he happens to be doing Minecraft all the time right now. But for a while there, he was doing shows. He actually had multiple shows. He was uploading daily, so he had Meme Review. It was a show. Pew News. That was a show. You Laugh, You Lose. A show. Last week I Asked You. That was a community show. So when you look at some of today's top influencers and entrepreneurs that are crushing it, they have all started a show. This is Nigga Higga. Actually lives in Las Vegas. Pretty famous for creating these crazy videos that are just amazing, of like, with all kinds of B-roll and stuff. But recently they launched a video podcast. I actually need you to tell your neighbor, you need to start a video podcast. Yeah. It's called the Off the Pill podcast, right? And so they recently started that, and now they're able to be super consistent. They sit down, they've got all the, the microphone set up. Where's this? This is like in a closet, right? It's like some corner, some weird, but they got the stuff, they got the gear, they got it set up, they figured out what it is, but now it's rinse and repeat, man. It's just a show that they do repeatedly. This is Paylin from Paylin's Kitchen, an interview we did on Video Influencers, and she has a cooking channel. One video a week. It's her weekly cooking show. And from starting on YouTube, it's crazy because she went to YouTube first. It led to traditional media. She started getting on local news. She got a book deal. She got all kinds of stuff. Just started super simple. Started a simple show. Kept doing it for years. Now she has 735,000 subscribers and massive momentum. One of the kind of famous social media entrepreneurs right now is Gary Vaynerchuk. And he's kind of known for his personal brand, but he also runs an agency of about 1,000 people on his team. And when you look at him, you should study the greats. And when you look at him, you see that his content lives in buckets of shows. The Ask Gary V show. Daily V is a show that he has someone follow him around, film him, and edit it into vlogs. Trash Talk, he started just a hobby show where he goes to garage sales, buys stuff, and flips it on eBay. That's a show. Original Films, they're buckets. You got to have your organization. Now, he's also got about 20, 25 people just working on his personal brand, just editing videos, just editing micro content. This is why you never want to compare your beginning to somebody else's middle. Because you start doing the comparison thing and you just go, man, I could never do that. Of course, either could he. He's got 25 people helping him, but he's put his content out in buckets and shows. And listen to this. In one of his episodes, he said, if I was Gary Vee full time, because he's actually a businessman full time, he does it very part time, and his team helps him leverage it. But if I was Gary Vee full time, like some of us want to just build our personal brand or be influencers, I would have an internet show distributed on all platforms from 7 to 10 a.m. answering questions. So he's saying, look, the strategy I would have if I really wanted this thing to blow up is I would start a show. And here's the cool thing too. You actually don't have to be the star of your show. Some of you, you're a business owner, you're kind of thinking about like, can I do this? Should I do this? You don't actually necessarily have to be the star of your show. You could still start one. So this is Kingston technology. They do memory and chips and like flash drives and data drives and things. Super exciting. I mean, you just look at the website there, you just think, wow, that's ripe for just an energetic, powerful show, isn't it? I mean, my gosh. Well, here's what they did was they started a DIY tips to improve your tech show. This is a model that should be studied. Shout out to one of our sponsors, vidIQ. Jeremy Vest is here, and he actually helped consult on, this was like his brainchild, helping them with this strategy. So connect with them at the vidIQ booth. Not only is vidIQ an incredible tool, but he's an amazing just digital strategist. He can help coach you on your YouTube channel. You may even get him to pull his laptop out and do a channel review for you. He's cool like that. But he helped them with this strategy because Kingston was like, well, how do we start a show? What do we do? So what they actually did was they brought in somebody else as their talent. Trisha Hirschberger actually has her own channel, but she contributes to their channel. So could you partner with somebody? Get somebody that actually is just more charismatic or that's more wants to be on video or whatever. You don't have to be the star of your show, and you could still start a show. And the other thing to note from them is that they're creating valuable content. Like the key here is create valuable content for your target audience and don't just market your products. So what's crazy on their channel is they talk about how to shoot stuff on cameras. They talk about how to get your computer running faster. Guess what? They talk about other brands and competitor brands. It's new school marketing, friends. It's not just about like direct hardcore sales. It's about just adding value, educating, becoming the go-to expert. And so they have all this, and then woven into the videos they're uploading is videos about like their SD cards and about like thumb drives and how to use them. Speaking of vidIQ, they've got an incredible YouTube channel. Again, they're a software as a service, a SaaS product to help you grow your YouTube channel and make data-driven decisions. And so this is Rob. He's one of the people on their channel that is the talent. He's the star of the Show. They've uploaded 24 videos in the last month, grew by 15,000 subscribers. It's just been amazing about what they've been doing. And again, vidIQ. Who here uses vidIQ? Wave at me, wave at me. Man, amazing. Like half the room. If you haven't heard about vidIQ, you could go to vidiq.com/think. You can grab the free, for sure, install the free plugin. Yeah. And it gives you all this data about your YouTube channel, but you can also do a 30-day free trial of their Boost plan, which is what we use. Some incredible, powerful things. On our pre-sessions, which we'll send you links to those, we did some pre-conference sessions. Who was on those? Wave at me. We did some Zoom calls and stuff. Yeah. And so we did a training on vidIQ. You can check that out as well. This is Roger Wakefield, the expert plumber. And I've known Roger for a little while now. I didn't realize that he was actually sitting in the audience of one of my sessions at a conference a while back. And he was catching a lot of vision and getting inspired to launch a show, to start creating content. And what's been crazy is his channel has just been exploding in such a short time. So the first thing that happened was he started to kind of realize, maybe like some of you, that like, okay, I need to be doing this, but I'm not really sure how to start. And he was doing it kind of half-hearted. He was doing it not all in. And so at the end of 2018, he had 350 subscribers on his channel. He also was just uploading his videos titled like Honest Plumbing Company, like self-describing, you know? Like, we're an honest plumbing company. And it's like, hey, you know, here's who we are. But that's not the stuff. You may need some of those things on your website and other places, but that's not the kind of content that's going to like help you build your brand. You need to think about the audience first, add valuable content, solve problem. So he was telling me this is when he got serious, though, was right going into 2019, and he decided to go all in. He had an aha moment at a conference like this, and then he committed. So his son took on the video editing and creation of their content, and they changed their entire marketing strategy, and it was a huge risk. They invested money. They kind of built this studio. They started, you know, doing some of that upfront cost and heavy lifting stuff, and then he started publishing videos. Now, this is a good one. Not just Honest Plumbing Company, but how to fix a running toilet guaranteed. DIY plumbing repair. 65,000 views. And they've only been creating content for just a little bit of time. What's really cool is they fired their marketing company. They were paying their marketing company around $2,300 a month, probably invested about $40,000, not getting much results. And since they stopped spending money on their marketing company and invested it in valuable content, in things like editing videos, you know, paying his son to edit, and investing in content, not only has their company revenue not gone down, but only increased. They are now creating extra influence and extra income streams because of everything that they're doing. They got listed in Yahoo style, Roger Wakefield on creating a life of his dreams and inspiring generations, some super powerful things. And their strategy on the Expert Plumber is posting actually 3 videos a week. Right now they're growing by 2,500 subs a month. They're not at 10,000 yet, but they're growing by 2,500 a month, 118,000 views a month. And so his investment has all been reallocated towards content. And that's the thing when it comes to momentum, man. Literally, they are just getting started. Give this guy, give him a month, but give him a year and it's game over. Here's a couple of our inner circle members that have started their show. This Dr. K, you heard about him? Guess what? He's got the Dr. K show. I mentioned Cassandra, right? There's her new LinkedIn live show, Coffee and Careers with Cassandra. She helps people focused on growing their career growth skills, helping others build their careers, you know, get better jobs, she's a career consultant and speaker. So she started a show. Are you getting the point? Tell your neighbor, start your show. This is Matthew. Matthew's here at the conference. Where are you at, Matthew? Right there. Matthew's passion is to help musicians start and continue to create music, so he does a bunch of cool things on like beat makers, like the MPC and all kinds of stuff. Right now, because he's got his show, Matthew Creating Music, helping people with tutorials, he's growing by 366 subs a month, 50,000 views a month, almost 1 million views on his channel. I mean, crazy stuff happening. but you gotta start your show. And this is the video podcast cross-platform strategy right here. So this is Jay Bear. I met Jay Bear. Jay Bear helps companies get customers for free. Usually helps like big like enterprise DoubleTree type of companies, especially through word of mouth marketing. He wrote a book called Talk Triggers, and DoubleTree gives away like free cookies, and they get like more free publicity from people being like, what, a cookie, and like tweeting it, be like, oh my gosh, we get excited about cookies, don't we? Especially you eat part of it and then the sugar kicks in and you're like, oh, I love DoubleTree, whatever. Anyways, word of mouth marketing. And so I was talking to Jay about like his strategy, but here's what he did was he started a signature show, right? And so he started the Talk Triggers show. That's the title of his book. And he wanted his book to be able to continue to be going, continue to be marketing. And so he what he does is he uploads like his show on YouTube. Now, but you might look at this, especially some of us that calculate ROI, and I look at this and we're like, okay, he's putting all this energy, shooting in his little home office there in front of the Avid endorsement thing and talks to script. He actually reads off a teleprompter, so he's got like his thing dialed in. He also set parameters for his show. It's always 7 minutes or less. And what he does is he just covers one company that's doing word of mouth marketing per week on his show, so that any business that wants to learn, oh, that's a good idea, or that's how I could get customers talking about it, that's why they would subscribe. But then, of course, he uploads it on YouTube, 81 views. Is that really worth it? Is it really worth it to, for the energy and the time to put it there? But what you don't realize is that his show is platform agnostic, because that same show tweaked a little bit for LinkedIn gets posted over on LinkedIn as well. 7 minutes. And over on LinkedIn, whoa, we got 876 views. But not only that, he's got a system so then he can cut out a little snippet of it, and there's one of those little micro pieces of content. Oh wow, that one blew up. That got 1,396 views. And so it's not only that, that show also lives on his website. So anybody that actually comes to his website, he wants to close business, get clients, well then they can watch that show embedded from YouTube on his website, but it's also his podcast. Look at your neighbor and say, start a video podcast. So he's creating just the one thing, right? But he's being super smart with a cross-platform strategy to distribute it across platforms. So let's just talk about, as we close here, how to systematize and scale your show. So one of the things we did on Video Influencers that helped us launch the #1 best-selling YouTube strategy book in the world called YouTube Secrets, leading up to that, was we started a weekly interview show. When we launched Video Influencers, I had a full-time job. Benji was very busy doing some other things. So we actually had to say, if we only had a minimal amount of time, we were also living in 2 different states. If we had a minimal amount of time, how could we do this? Well, let's start a show. In our case, we would travel to events and do a lot of interviews at events of people. So then that way we could put one interview out a week. And but a lot of times we'd shoot maybe 4 to 10, even 15 or 16 weeks of shows, all in a couple-day conference. Pretty powerful. And so here's kind of how we do our show. We always do an intro, as we described. That'd be the hook, right? Then we have our logo sting. That's the bumper. We describe that. That's that 10-second kind of branding thing that we add in there. Now we have a place for an ad spot. Cool thing about that ad spot is, as you grow influence, you can get a brand to potentially sponsor you and start paying you some money, or maybe give you some free product. You're probably not going to start with that, but the other thing with that ad spot is, if you watch our content, most of the time we just use that spot to promote our own book. And now it's a thing that we could show other people and say, yeah, Skillshare, you could be here as well. So it's a show. Phil DeFranco's another person to study for that. Brilliant in terms of advertising opportunities and how he incorporates that. Then it's the content. Then we have the lightning round, it's just a feature of what our show has. You could have like the quick questions, or you could have, hey, every episode, I like to ask you if you have an interview show, like whatever you do, you structure your show. And then we have the question of the day. And if you've ever, wave at me if you've ever seen a Video Influencers interview, wave at me. So a lot of us have, and so you've seen this, man, this thing is rinse and repeat, man. We just go, and it's really nice because we go to the conference and we're not trying to like be creative and make something up new. We just go, these are the building blocks. We hit all of those, and then it allows us to create a sustainable show. Video influence